Saturday morning. Just left camping Igualdo. Had a terrible night's sleep thanks to a constantly barking dog. It sounded like the same one just over and over for at least an hour from about 1 o'clock till 2. It seemed to stop exactly at 2 o'clock. And from there on, I just really struggled to get to sleep again. I was thinking about all the things I need to do to prepare for the ferry, which, to be fair, wasn't very much. It's just things like putting, oh god, I'll just go down that farm track. Okay. Gonna have to do something about this. So, what do I do? Not that one. That. Avoid unpaved roads. That should be on by default, for goodness sake. Okay. Big speed bumps. Yeah, so not a very good night's sleep. Just for whatever reason, I just couldn't get back off to sleep again. Well, I don't know if I said before, but oh, there's the sea. Igualdo is the name of this hill. It's not Mr. Igualdo at all, or Mrs. Igualdo. Pretty sight first thing in the morning. The campsite, other than the dog barking, wasn't too bad. As usual, they put me miles away from the toilet block, and I don't know if they persecute bikers or something, but they seem to put they put me on the tiniest little corner plot with tree roots sticking up through the ground, so forth. Really wasn't very good at all. I was quite unimpressed with that. This road, again, probably can't see it through his GoPro, but it's got a few cameras on it. I noticed I seem to be drifting out to the right a lot this morning. So, look out for more cameras. Road surface is rubbish here. Anyway, it was €26 they charged me. Can't remember, I think I may have paid €2 or €3 deposit, so call it around €30 for one night's camping. Not sure how that relates to things like Airbnb prices or cheap hotels, but I think if I was doing this again, I would probably do a lot more research beforehand and try and get an Airbnb room. So if I could get away with not carrying all this camping gear, the bike would be a lot lighter, a lot less to deal with at the end of a long day's ride and the start of the next day's ride when it's raining. I know people talk about camping gives you the freedom back and all this kind of stuff, and I'm sure they have a point. It absolutely does if you're wild camping. However, if you're not wild camping, then it's sort of minimum, from what I can see, of €30 a night. And that's if they don't throw in eco taxes, which are mandatory, that they haven't told you about when you go on the website to book. So I think that was the one, Chateau Canteloupe up near Le Mans, and it ended up going to quite a ridiculous price, to be honest, for one night's worth of camping. A tiny little tent and a motorcycle rider. Anyway, yeah, it doesn't give you freedom back. Yes, if you're free camping, or perhaps on a particularly stringent budget and you've found the cheapest campsite known to man. Pothole City. I'm aiming for them for some reason. Maybe I need a coffee to wake me up. But they don't do croissants this side of the border. Speaking of the border, I've no idea where I actually passed from France into Spain. How cool is that? What a brilliant idea, eh? Just to be able to keep on going and not have to show passports and all that malarkey. Anyway, it was really easy. Just ended up going on, I think 3, maybe 4 peages, which I hadn't expected. I expected maybe 1 or 2 just to get the miles under my belt on the France side. No, it just seemed to continue peage, and autopista, I think it said on the Spanish side. Maybe that's where it changed. It said autopista. Anyway, it was hardly noticeable. Let's see what it's like going back to the UK. So I've seen it now to not take me down unpaved roads and to avoid tolls. So it can take me onto highways. Right now it's taking me on these little back roads, I guess, to get down Igualdo. Flies around here. Flies in the mouth. Don't really want to close the visor yet. Cyclists, motorcyclists. Unfortunately, I'm having to hit a lot of these potholes so that I don't wander too far across the roads. The oncoming lane. So who knows, right? What's around the next corner, hey? I can imagine I'll look back at this video and I'm trying to edit it and say, what are you rambling on about, Rob? It's just saying whatever occurs to me at the time. Can always dub over it with some dodgy music or like they do in Starsky and Hutch and those kind of American programs where they seem to dub over the wrong kind of revs and gear changes, adding a few tyre screeches here and there. I wonder if it's really like that in America. I've only been a couple of times and I can't say I heard much in the way of car tyre screeching. Certainly it doesn't happen over in Europe. Take the second exit at the roundabout. Okay. This one towards Oreo. Come on, Rob. Go with it this morning. I've just stopped at Santa Maria to check the flipping GoPro again. Needs resetting. Oh, it's quite a nice place around here. People seem to like walking along the prom and running and cycling. The little place back there, the actual Santa Maria town, was quite pretty. Nice little beach there. Quite glad I came this way instead of going down the motorway. Noticed that I'm riding a little bit differently today, and I reckon it's because I've packed differently. I put some overnight stuff for the ferry into my backpack. I think I've moved the weight distribution around a bit, which is it's just changing my reactions to the way the bike's riding. Didn't move that much. Surprised that it's changed so much. Is it well done? Get aerials on top. I think if I could run further than to get my breakfast in the morning, I'll probably run along there. It's very nice. Nice little beach. Guitaria. Circumdistine. No doubt that I pronounced that really badly. Looks like a mix between ancient Egyptian and I don't know what, but maybe first to circumnavigate the world, possibly. History's a bit rubbish like that. Anyway, didn't recognise the fella. There's a statue of Christopher Columbus in Barcelona. This peloton before the corner comes up. Oh yeah, this is such a good road. Especially the first thing in the morning. Sea air and all that. A few nice twisties, reasonable surface, not too much traffic, but those views actually makes you feel like you're on holiday, which I sort of am still. Pretty much my last day of holiday, but still officially on holiday. And there you go, classic overtake the bicycle around the corner maneuver. They've got their own little lane there as well, for God's sake. Those guys have got the right idea. Stuck all the waterproofs on, so it looked like it was going to rain, and the sun's out. It's 2 hours to get to Bilbao going this way. I suspect I'm going to see a lot of views like that. Ooh, what a shame. So do I stop and take all this clobber off? Not yet. It starts heating up and then I will. At least I see me coming in this day glow yellow. Cardo has run out of battery as well. So we're going to look at the sat nav now.
1
think I charged every device that I've got last night from the power pack, and except for the cardo. It's still stuck on the side of the helmet. I've completely forgotten about it. Oh dear, cyclist down. Really not surprised that I haven't seen more of this, to be honest. There's just so many of them. So many cars overtaking where they shouldn't. Hope he's okay, she's okay. So I've just been pulled over by the police. I was going nice and slow, but they decided to pull me over and check my driving licence and have a quick look over the bike. So no drama. Just made sure I showed them my face, showed them my licence, smiled politely, and they said I can continue on my way, which I will do. That's a timely reminder that even on these little back roads, which I guess anyone who knows them knows how twisty they are, might be tempted to give it some. Look out for those guys. They carry guns as well, so they mean business. I wonder how many people they actually catch who don't have a valid license to ride. I bet places like that shut down after this was no longer the main road to Bilbao. Once the motorways came in. Let's just come out of Bilbao, which is a little bit like a slightly down at hill seaside bus. Looks alright, but seen better days, I guess. Off you go, mate. Looks like we're just following the train line to Bilbao. I guess we were. No, he's shifting. Certainly not doing 50 kph. Maybe he's in a rush. No, I'm not. I think I would be pushing on a little bit more, but so many of these cyclists around. You come round a corner and there's either a car coming towards you or a peloton of cyclists, or group of cyclists, whatever they're called, stretched across your lane, and they're often doing speeds between sort of first and second gear. So the kind of speed he's doing, and those roads are a lot more open, but you would have to hit the brakes if you came across one of those suddenly. Around this bend. And standing on the brakes on a motorbike on a bend isn't a great idea, is it? It's actually really nice to not have too much of a schedule. I know some people say use booking.com last minute. I'm a bit more of a planner than that. I like to know where I'm aiming for and try and give myself a realistic target in a day. You know, if the worst happens, then I can always resort to doing something like that. But I don't know, it just gives me a bit of an itinerary. I have to catch the ferry at 3 PM UK time, so check in at least an hour earlier than that, so that's 2 PM. Clock on the bike, say 9:25 UK time. Got plenty of time just to go along, mind the speed limits, Mind the police inside the road, mind the bikers, cyclists, I mean. Just enjoy the ride instead of getting the hammer down, as they say. This guy has a nice bike. He also has a nice pair of shorts. And then some sort of post-industrial landscape, it seems. It's like everything is shut down and overgrown. I'm hoping I'm on the right road still. I believe it's still 10623. But if I'd have followed the sat-nav, it would have had me turn off and go back in the opposite direction. Who knows to where? That's where I probably am. Something dot means. Anyway, of course half the signs are in flipping, not even in Spanish. We're in the Basque country, aren't we? So yeah, it's probably Basque writing wordage. I think that's what the policeman spoke to me in as well. Oh, and 67. Anyway, says I can go this way. So sat nav sort of righted itself, but I just haven't got any confidence in what it's really telling me. Down the screen there's actually two pink lines telling me where to go. There's the road I'm on, and there's a road somewhere over there on the right, which is basically countryside by the looks of it. So if it's going to tell me to turn around up here, then I'm going to switch back to Google Maps. I really wanted to use Scenic as my motorcycle sat-nav. You know, it's got lots of functionality for bikers. It's built for bikers. But at the moment, I've paid for it, so I guess I could put in some bug tickets to the guy who wrote it. Maybe you could offer advice on the forums. Well, certainly the first one for me, the major one, is don't have unpaved roads switched on by default. And maybe there's a way of turning it off. Yeah, once we turn right. Okay, I'm going to have to pull over somewhere, I think, and switch to Google. And here is fine. It's that statue of some men's faces. Local heroes, possibly.
Bienvenido a Cepsa. Usted ha seleccionado gasolina 95 Star. Hope to see you again soon.
No chance. It's the room on the Salamanca, inside room. 2 beds, 2 bunk beds, and a little bathroom, and a little telly, and a desk for all your work.